The film begins with a 17-year-old boy named Tyler who lives on the beaches of California and has a girlfriend named Allison. He works in a restaurant and is happy with his life. He was spending his time with Allison and his friends. It was the last week of summer vacation. He meets Allison, and they go to yoga. And then they meet their friend Gil, who works in a food truck. Tyler returns with his little sister, Tiffany, who was at the gym and wished her mom was with her. They arrive home and he gets upset because their mother is busy. He prepares food for his sister, and she asks him if he is going to meet his girlfriend, so he asks her not to tell their mother about it. In the evening, Gil and he wait Allison in his car, and they go to their friend Lydia's party. Sometime later at the party, a young man approaches Allison and hugs her. She gets a little upset to see him. His name is Chase. He knew her when she was in San Francisco. Tyler approaches them, and she introduces him to Chase. When they leave, he asks her about the young man, but she does not answer. Later, Chase approaches him and tells him that Allison has changed. Tyler had no idea about her past. Chase tells him things about her and he gets upset. He goes to the bathroom and stands in the roll. He sees and talks to a pretty girl named Holly. Allison goes looking for him and finds him sitting in the living room frustrated. He was upset by what Chase said and because Allison didn't tell him anything about him. She tries to get him to forget about it, but he refuses. He called out to Chase and before they could fight, Allison pulled him out and told him to go home and broke up with him. Outside, he finds Holly in a car and they spend the night together. He wakes up in a strange house and has a wonderful view, wanders around looking for Holly and finds her in the living room with a bunch of pictures, and he praises her for her beauty. They spend the holidays together, swimming and walking around the big house. She tells him that her father died some time ago and tells him about her stepmother who doesn't care about her. He feels bad for her and tells her about his family, that his father left home, his mother always works, and his sister depends on him a lot. He tells her that he did not introduce her to Allison, because she is from a different world. Night falls and he decides to go home. When he arrives, he charges his phone, turns it on, and gets a message from Allison. The next day he was in front of Allison's house. She went out and was not angry. He apologized to her and she told him everything about her past and that her parents sent her so that she could start a new life. They apologize to each other and their relationship resumes again and they promise each other not to keep any secret. He agrees, but he hides what he did last night. At school he is surprised by Holly's presence. He is upset but he hides it from Allison. Holly sits next to him and tells him that her stepmother has decided to move to the city permanently, and she tells him that she knew he was back with his girlfriend and she promises to keep their secret about that night. Later at the coffee shop, Gil introduces Holly to the group. Tyler gets nervous. She and Allison exchange numbers and she invites them to prom, but Tyler refuses. After everyone leaves, he asks Holly to meet him. She tries to get close to him, but he refuses, and when he tries to apologize to her, she gets angry and leaves. The next day he wakes up and sees the pictures Holly sent him from her party with Allison, and she apologizes to him. At school, while they are talking about the party, Lydia asks Holly about her social media account, but she says she deleted everything. Allison brings Holly to the restaurant where Tyler works, and while she is showing her some pictures, Tyler suddenly arrives. A picture of a man's body appears but his face is not shown, so Tyler recognizes his body. Allison asks her who the man is, but she tells her nothing. They decide to go to the beach and meet Gil. Holly takes a picture of Tyler and Allison and asks her who the man was in the picture, but she says she won't tell her, as she continues to look at Tyler. Tyler gets nervous seeing them together, especially as she keeps teasing him about the secret they're keeping from Allison. Holly borrows a pink jacket from Allison, becomes jealous of her relationship with Tyler, and starts asking personal questions about her life with Tyler. Tyler tells Gil about his relationship with Holly, and Gil is shocked that Holly had previously flirted with him. He tells him he wants to be honest with Allison, but he discourages him. While Allison is with Holly, Tyler keeps texting to see if Holly has left. Her mother chats on them and is worried about Allison. In the morning, Holly stares at Allison sadly as she contemplates doing something sinister. Holly meets Tyler and asks to see his sister. She says she told Allison about their relationship. He gets angry, but she laughs and was joking. Days pass, and he gets nervous about Holly's actions. At school, he overhears the conversation of Holly's stepmother and a guidance counselor. He catches up with the woman and has a conversation with her. She tells him that Holly is from San Diego and also tells him that she is a good girl, but she is lonely because she travels all the time. and she asks him not to tell her about their conversation. Allison tells Lydia about her night with Holly, and Lydia thinks there is something strange about Holly. They didn't realize that Holly was overhearing their conversation. At lunch, Holly brings juice for the girls, and Allison asks her why she left the house, but she lies. Suddenly Lydia has an allergy attack, and Allison rushes to her aid. Tyler notices that Holly doesn't care what happened. At night he tries to text Allison to warn her of Holly's danger, but he deletes it, where he thought it had something to do with what happened with Lydia. He dreams that she is stabbing him, so he wakes up scared. At school, he is happy to see Allison doing well and hugs her, while she was still worried about Lydia. When Holly came home, she found her stepmother back. She was not happy to see her because she did not love her. Corinne prepares the food and assures her that she is by her side, but says that her father left everything to her. Corinne is upset that Holly has missed her treatment appointments and is not taking her medication. Holly is upset that Corinne is interfering in her life and is trying to threaten her. Corinne is intimidated by Holly's behavior. She was obsessed with Tyler and always thought about him. Gil is worried about Holly because she hasn't appeared in days, and moments later he sees her with Allison. Tyler talks with Allison and she tells him about Holly that she is pregnant. He gets shocked. Later, when Allison spends time with Holly at her home, Holly receives a text from Tyler asking her to talk to her. Allison advises her to contact the man who did it to her, and tells her she is sad that Tyler hasn't introduced her to his family yet. Later that day, while Tyler was in his room, he overheard someone talking to his sister. He is surprised to see Holly with his sister. His sister is happy to have Holly and begs him to stay, but as soon as his sister leaves the room, he drags Holly out. They quarrel about the pregnancy, and he tells her that he is young and does not have money to support the child, but she assures that he loves her, but he does not see her because of Allison. She falls to the ground and hurts her lips, so he asks her to leave. She goes to Allison's house and tells her what happened, and she is hysterical and she cuts wounds on her hand to show Allison what that man did to her when she confronted him. Tyler visits Lydia in the hospital and asks her if Holly is aware of her allergy, which she confirms and says she feels suspicious of Holly. He tells her what happened between him and Holly, and she becomes disappointed, and she asks him to tell Allison everything. He agrees, assuring her that he will fix the mess he made. He tries to call Allison, but she doesn't answer. He sends her a message informing her that he wants to meet her at a beach. He confesses everything to her, but she is aware of his infidelity, as Holly shows her his picture at her home and pictures of her with his family. He tells her that they were separated when he met her, but Allison tells him not to contact her again. An angry Tyler returns home and receives many messages from Holly, telling him that she wants him to be with her after Allison left him. He ignores all her messages and that makes her angry. At school she told him he should have texted her. After that, the principal asked him to leave the class, as he was expelled, and it turned out that a student named Elizabeth filed a report against him at the police station. He returns home and searches for the girl online, only to find that Holly has been accused of attacking a classmate from her former school. She did the same thing with another couple, becoming obsessed with the girl's boyfriend and then attacking her when the guy wouldn't leave her. Holly was ordered to be held in the hospital. She sends him a message, and he tells her he knows her true identity. In the evening when Allison is home alone, Tyler texts her and tells her the truth about Holly, but she ignores him. Holly calls her and tries to gain her trust. Suddenly she hears Holly's voice from inside the house and finds that the gas has been turned on and hears the sound of breaking glass. Suddenly Holly grabs her and she loses consciousness. Tyler receives a message from Holly with a picture of Allison unconscious. He heads to Allison's house and asks Gil to meet him there. When Allison wakes up, she finds herself chained to a chair and regrets not trusting Tyler. Holly mocks her for believing her lie about her pregnancy. She hears the sound of a car and is shocked that she is her stepmother. She fixes duct tape on Allison's mouth and gets out. Allison starts screaming. Corinne hears a sound as she finds her tied up and tries to free her. Holly attacks her from behind. Tyler arrives and sees Holly in the living room. He finds Allison's blood-stained clothes and he panics and searches for her in all the rooms, but he can't find her. When he returns to Holly, he finds Allison pinned to the ceiling unconscious and rushes to help her. But Holly returns to get the gun, and Tyler catches her with a stick. While they are out, Holly appears with a gun. He tries to trick her, apologizes and tells her that he was happy with her. She feels happy, but she realizes his trick. She points the gun at Allison, but he confirms that what happened is not Allison's fault but rather his fault. Gil appears and distracts Holly. Terrified, She shoots Tyler in the shoulder and tries to get kill, but Allison hits her, causing her to fall into the pool. The paramedics arrive, and this time Holly finds another man, who promises to stay by her side. After a few weeks, Tyler recovers and reunites with Allison at his sister Tiffany's birthday party, and everything returns to normal. If you want interesting movie recaps like these, like, share, and subscribe to follow us for more movie recaps.